And although, yeah, look, then Shockley does manage it. I've bad news for you. Look at what finished over here. 3 anti-nukes are stunned by Kingstead, which means that the nuke does indeed land. Welcome to a zerok team game where they are down all game, but they nuked them into resignation. It is between, in the northeast, we've got tanks, cloaks, we've got tanks with a mystery as the blueprint, cloaks with just standard old glaive, so no real choice there, airplanes in the purple, yellow who doesn't have a factory yet but is going hover platform, and will get just dagger, okay. Over here, Kingstead, no factory for them yet, it seems. Or they get 2 commanders. They got 2 commanders, indeed they did. Going glaives with, well, cloakbots with 1. And the other one we'll have to see. Also, we've got a shieldbot factory that's being reclaimed. An immediately rushing firewalker with a jump bot plate. That's all for the northeast or eastern team. And over here on the western side, well, we get a spiders in a very nice position. Already going for geothermal. Shield bots. Though those are not really doing anything right now. Over here, we do have another one who has not built a factory yet, or has 2 of them. Nope. Yes, they do. That's Whistle. This is also Whistle. Except it isn't, because I guess, yeah, okay. Dark-ish, blue, green, I don't know, greenish. Is AFK. Or waiting, presumably. Over here, 400, already going geothermal as well. It's already up. And then we've got them with airplanes. We've got more spiders, more tanks, rovers and spiders. A lot more spiders on this side. Don't think I saw any spiders on the eastern team. Spiders are really nice with these hills. And of course are also very nice to get to the geothermal and all that. But there are a lot of flat areas where vehicles and such would work quite well. Also, these hills, not these, but the smaller hills, are passable by bots, although they are very slowed down. Scythe is being a little sneaky. Just barely weren't able to get it with those swifts. And bandits are running after them, but yeah, bandit is slow, so is going to escape. Don't know if it can really do any damage. Maybe able to take down an Atten, which would be very valuable. That's 500 cost just in that. And for now, the western team with positive attrition, 110%, but at the same time, the eastern team with more eco. Also by about 10%. But that was mainly through reclaim. So with the reclaim drying up, all of a sudden it's not actually any good. Over here, we do already get geothermal upgrading, same over here. Whereas the forward geothermal is still just a normal one, and is also not being upgraded. Triple Scythe is doing quite a lot of damage there now, over here. Raiding with a couple of Venoms as well. Not going to surround the Firewalker, which would have been a pretty nice target. But we'll be able to take care of, well, 1 max, even that is. Yeah, they should be able to. I mean, they can easily handle 1 pyro, just stun it completely, and all of a sudden you can just continue on. 1 moderator should be cleaned up as well if you do try to engage it, but yeah. Just going to run past and, well, commander should be able to hold its own. The StarCraft commander. And over on this side, well, we do still have a 1 and a 2 scythes still alive. I believe they had 3, maybe 4. So 1 or 2 has been cleaned up. And over here, Weaver also cleaned up. Still, with all of those fleas coming in, these last 2 scythes should be cleaned up quite shortly. Commander, for green, going down in front. Still, has a lot of units close by. Should be able to reclaim all of that. So isn't really going to lose too much value there, but it's definitely not good for them. Second, well, not even the second, but the next sneaky force coming in. Gremlins, very good on hold fire, otherwise they would have shot at the Swifts. And for now, Dominatrix For one, it's a single target unit, so wouldn't really do a whole lot. This though, I mean, running straight into an enemy factory, sure you can take it down, but you did show your hand now. Gremlins to deal with the airplanes, that is of course very nice. Phoenix does also go down. So yeah, it is still somewhat decent, but look, 310, 300 to 110 there. So it's pretty much an even trade, in which case giving all of that reclaim to the enemy without taking down any eco yourself, yeah, that's really not what you want. Geothermal on both sides have been upgraded, so both of the teams are like, well, pretty set for that overdrive, with pretty much even eco. Another scythe gets cleaned up. We already get triple big old artillery here. One misery, double firewalker. And also a very fun unit. Juggernaut, not my favorite, and it's not exactly in the prime position. I mean, yeah, good thing you have those tanks there. And boom, Dominatrix is gone. Dominatrix normally like an anti-heavy kind of unit, right? It wants to hit heavy targets, the capturing rover. But yeah, against Juggernaut, it just smashes you into its face. And with such low HP, like 820, not a lot. Yeah, doesn't really end well for the Dominatrix. What shit, you? You shouldn't be hitting your own felon? Team West is going to be facing off against, well, multiple Phantoms, Lance as well. So yeah, Shield Ball would be pierced quite easily. Blue's commander over there going down. Nicely done by the tanks and Juggernaut. So Juggernaut, only 1000 HP left, and it dies, I think, before making contact with its jump, but it might have just barely made it. Anyways, commander here for green going down. So the position over here, looking very good. Already making like 4000 cost. So yeah, only 70% attrition for Team West. And with your commander forwards, the super welder, although it is not being upgraded, yeah, you should be able to get all of that reclaim as well, or at least part of the reclaim. For now, I would say that Team East is definitely ahead. For now, they have, with less reclaim, equal eco. So, of course, the reclaim eco from Team West is temporary. And Team East should be able to get more reclaim from that fight up north. Attrition is looking good for them as well, for Team East. And that's without them getting all of those additional geothermals, whereas on this side, of course, there is one additional geothermal already created. Though it is not being upgraded, so it doesn't really influence things too much, but hey. Over here, Lance, indeed, burst damage, piercing, and taking down the felon. Meaning that there is also like 0 DPS here. I mean, Recluse is not exactly DPS, and a singular Thug isn't either. Commander, not in one-shot range for Phantom, but a combination of Phantom and Lance, and it is most certainly dead. Boom, and Lance comes in and shoots it. Or it doesn't. Watch it, because it is not in 2-shot range for Phantom, but at your Recluse just kinda hit. Your own commander it would have been. And over here, hey, that's a nice couple of Lance. Though of course, slow units should still be able to deal with most of what they have over here. Jumping would allow you to close the distance, and also dodge in this case the blast wings very nicely. And yeah, it's not a very scary shield ball. Of course, with double aspects you do have a significant amount of shield. And also a pretty good recharge. Both of these, of course, 50 per second. But still, I think it's going to be a bit of a hard fight down south for Team West. By now, double Lance, triple Phantom. But, at the same time, Team West is pushing back up north. All of that reclaim I was talking about, yeah, it seems like that's going to be secured by Team West. In which case, their reclaim eco is not exactly as temporary as we thought it would be. 700 there, 1400, 1000. So they can get up a lot of reclaim. And yeah, pushing into that commander, taking down at least one commander up north. The super welder, I believe it was. Yeah, the emissary spammer. But yeah. And I can't do anything, it's annoying. Too bad. Air Force, some of the Ravens already without ammo, which is not ideal. Coming in and, well, bombing lance. 1 dropped, 2 dropped, but missing. That is a bit annoying. Switching to the other lance, in which case, yeah, neither go down. Thank you for the lag. Yeah, this one surviving on 90 HP, this one on 200. Yeah. With a little bit more micro, those Ravens would have been able to kill at least one of them. But in this case, they all survive. And yeah, with more support coming in. Commander there, the level 4. Caretaker to heal it all back up. It's a lot more difficult, of course, to really get those lance killed. Raven gets cleaned up by the Raptor. And it's a very nice, but yeah. Gunship plant is being, well, pretty much just stalled by a couple of gremlins. Hitting the shields, of course. So, yeah. Had the shield ball been all together, it would have drained the pennon's damage as well. But in this case, it doesn't really matter all that much. But yeah. Here what it is. Iris coming forwards will be cloaking the Jax, cloaking the Juggernaut. Getting a jump on this. That would be very, very strong. Of course, Jax with like 300 DPS each. 5 of them over here, so yeah, that's 1500 DPS. Commander goes forwards, should be able to reclaim as well, if it wants to. So for now it is just being offensive. And upgrading even more. Going to be level 5 in a couple of seconds. Or not. I guess it was the drone that was construction bar that I saw. But yeah, oh, this time around though. Ravens getting a good bombing run onto the lance. 2 of them going down. 3rd one goes down to the recluse. And yeah, Fleas can't really engage with the Juggernaut being there. Still, Juggernaut forwards. It's quite slow. You don't want to jump in this case, just because, yeah. Even though you could get a good jump onto those units, it would have probably still cost you your Juggernaut if you had tried that. But yeah, Jax not really engaging. Now you are engaging with a couple of Phantoms, couple of Glaives. Without engaging the rest of your units, not exactly great coordination there. They're telling them to go back. Makes sense. Juggernaut jumping. At least the Phoenix won't really ever bomb anything significant. And cloaked. Yeah, it is cloaked indeed over there. So you have to watch out for that. Up north, well, thanks once again getting a pretty good push. But yeah, the counter to both Minotaur and Ogre in a couple of dominatrix is there. Still, you only have 5 dominatrix, which isn't enough to stop like 7 tanks. Especially not like 6 tanks. Especially not like all of those Minotaurs and all that. That still can soak a lot of damage. Small little spider push up north is being prepared as well. Seems like it at least. But those fleas can't really engage against triple loaders. And other than that, you only have like a couple of venoms. All things that are not that scary. This though, oh, taking everything down south. I mean, it makes sense because the tanks from Team East are also being taken here. But it does leave you exposed for, well, pretty much just any type of counterattack. For now though, there isn't anything there, so you get away with it. The reason Team East doesn't suffer the same fate is like, yeah, triple loaders there, they've got like, well, a couple of different turrets there. Porked up a lot more up north. So pushing in there with a couple of units is not nearly as easy as it would be for Team East to push in. They do the silly pork. That's kind of true. But now everything condensed in this over here. 20,000 value there for Team West. That's a lot of value. And they're taking even more value down south. Desolator being constructed. Doesn't feel like it protects a whole lot in my eyes. But we'll see. Commander going down. Iris going down. So no more cloaked over there. Is going to make it a lot more difficult for, well, Juggernaut to get in range. Jax to get in range. So there isn't anything scary for Team East to push with. So you'll hold the position for sure. But at the same time, the amount of HP they have over here, it's difficult, especially with the DPS from the Jax, to push into it either. That's not really going to happen. And over here now, a lot of pings, because yep, it's a scary raid with a couple of glaives. If they want to, they could even like push a couple of them up north. Phoenix coming in does bomb a decent number of glaives. Second Phoenix as well. Though this one only hits 2 of them. Does mean that most of the push has been stopped. Only 5 glaives survive. Will be able to clean up the energy pylon if they want to. And they do indeed. Oh, want to. Over here, a couple of weavers. 3 weavers should be countered. Could be taken down as well. And Redback, it's slow. Look at all of the units now going up north though. I mean, you can get away with it. I think so at least. Lucifer coming up as well. Or like, is up. So even though you have taken a lot of units up north. Yeah, this isn't really something that you can push either. Nuke is coming up. Halfway done for Team East. How are the anti-nukes looking for Team West? Neither team has really been scouting. We haven't really seen any swifts run around, or even just a sparrow or an owl try to get into the enemy airspace. So yeah, they don't really expect a nuke, it seems. Just because otherwise I would like to see an anti-nuke coming up. But something like this, 16,000 value, could go down to a singular nuke. Missile silo was being effective, however is now also very close to being pushed. Actually no, it is not being effective. Oh, it is. It was effective. It's now being reclaimed by Kingstead. Because they are afraid to lose it. At least seems like it. And need owl. So they're at least going to try and scout a little bit. Though that's mostly going to be for their emissary spotting, I guess. I expect it to be for that at least. And yeah, Kingstead now retreating, getting away from that silo. But it's still very good DPS in those jacks. Spiders and all are slow as well. So they're close and they'll start wreaking havoc. Couple of them are stunned. Still there. You lose a lot of value, but that was already from earlier. Still feel like those jacks themselves probably were able to make cost. But by now, we had them at 70% before, now Team West at 120% attrition. Lico coming in, not bombing a whole lot of fuels. Yeah, don't think so. And 5k reclaim, this is bad. Yeah, 4.1k left. Push the owl up north, there it is. So yeah, still feels like it is scouting for the emissary and all that. And hey, Kingstead finally dropping their free factory. Good job, Kingstead. Who by now has 3 commanders, really? 1, 2, 3, yeah. Kingstead indeed has 3 commanders. Oh, I guess Yellow had not popped their factory yet. Since they're AFK, Kingstead only now got that, I think. Anyways, this is looking really, really bad. Still, 12,000 value. Pushing into essentially nothing. All of the tanks from up north have to go here just to save them. Still though, blue. I don't think I like that you're holding back this much. Yeah. Even though you wouldn't be able to do all that much damage. just get one or two shields and like try to run around the Cerberus maybe. You have a lot of idle value over here. 10,000 value, that's a paladin worth. That's not really pushing in, while the enemy has to focus all their efforts down south. Minefields from the badges, still being very nice. Still, against a lot of Minotaurs and such, it's not as effective. I mean, there are... it doesn't say the burst damage. Anyways, there are like 40 mines over here, which isn't too much damage. And Firewalker not actually going to target the minefield. In which case, yeah, Firewalker itself could quite easily go down to all of those mines. And over here, the shielded spiders moving forward. But there is no real anti-air here. Yeah, 2 Vandals, but that does like no damage. Vandal has to be spammed. 2 is not spam. But Team West, down south, has reclaimed quite a lot already. Still could get a lot more reclaim, 1,000 more. And up north, yeah, they are still not really doing anything with all of these rovers. Do you have lobster in? Oh no, that's just capture day. Right. Huh, sure. Singularity for Team West is almost up. After that, they should be propelled forwards in their overdrive by quite a lot. There it is, going from 23 overdrive to 33. And that's even before it is linked to the grid. Just making the rest of their overdrive grid so much more efficient. 33 becomes 39 once it is linked in. So yeah, a lot more overdrive from them. 120 versus 100 eco, 90 eco, something like that. Question is, how long for the nuke? 17 more seconds. What is the anti-nuke range looking like? I don't see any. And because they still haven't scouted, they do have a couple of swifts, but they are not scouting. This nuke could get Team East back into the game. It's up. Is it also going to get used, though? That's the question. Please do. Because otherwise we miss things, and I don't like missing things. There it goes. Nuke is launched. And we already saw before that there is a lot of value they can hit. It's going down south. 18, almost 20,000 value. A lot of it will survive. Will all run away. But how much of it does go down? Seems like, yeah, quite a lot of it. Because not a whole lot of those units were high HP units. All of a sudden, losing 10,000 value. Ouch. The nuke of all time. Well, wouldn't go that far. But it was definitely something they needed. All of a sudden that 120% attrition becomes 93. Yeah. Thing is, there is no real follow-up for Team East right now. They've got a couple of units. They've got a couple of good imps down here. But even those imps... yeah, there is no follow-up, so you don't destroy anything. Firewalkers, very nice, are like the counter to spiders and all that. You stun most of the scary spiders, the venoms. But even then, yep, even just 2 of these venoms getting through, all of a sudden that's at least 1 Firewalker getting cleaned up. At least, assuming the micro is at least decent, it is cleaned up. There it goes, indeed it does. The other one might still go down, but that is a lot less likely. But yeah, with good micro, it almost goes down, but the Kadachis will not clean it up because those are Team East's Kadachi. Still running into its own fire, and all of a sudden it is no more. So yeah, that's 2 Firewalkers going down, 1800 value lost. But most of the other units, almost everything, has been cleaned up by Team East. Because the nuke was launched, there isn't a whole lot of reclaim here. Nuke doesn't really lend itself to dropping reclaim on the field. But yeah, Team E is not really able to push this. And just general eco is still going to be better for Team West. At least I would assume so, through that extra overdrive. Total reclaim on the field. Over here we do have like 1500, or like 2000 total, which is quite a lot. But other than that, up north there is no fighting, so no reclaim. Over here with the nuke launched and all that, and it's been a while by now, only a couple hundred reclaim left. So yeah, sure, you've got like 50 reclaim for now. That's gone in like 30 seconds, I'll give you. But yeah, where is your eco expansion coming from? Geothermals could get constructed. You do now have 2 of them. But still, getting these 2 would be pretty safe as well. In which case, well, all of a sudden that eco difference with Team West is, at least energy eco, is gone. Whereas you only have to invest like 2,000, 30,000 to close the gap, whereas of course Singularity is 4,000. Second nuke though is up. Anti-nuke range is pretty good, right? Assuming it's all constructed. And this one is not yet. So the next nuke is out. And it launches. And it goes down. And it does in fact hit. It's worth it. With how much they've constructed over there. It is still worth it. 11,000 destroyed. So a really nice nuke there as well. Also, Mountain has been taken down a notch. And this time around, they do at least have a follow-up in all of those tanks. Could still struggle against the Dominatrix a little bit, but there are only 3, so not really. Lico, it's 2000 damage. Minotaurs have a lot more HP than that. So, Team West will have to push down south once again, in order to force all of these tanks back to help down the south. Because otherwise they could just push in there, right? Can they not? Yeah, right? They should be able to. The only real damage they have for now is a couple of Ravagers. And their own Minotaurs. Scouting with a couple of nice little Swifts. They do see that some of the anti-nukes are operational. 5 Minotaurs for Team West. Will be trying to hold their own, like try to push them back, and they are seemingly going back for now. Dominatrix have to watch out a little bit. Were able to capture one little ogre. Oh, funny that it actually shows it as like player, as like the owner is the one who actually had it the moment it died. Not really something I noticed before. Anyways, the push up north, even though it looks scary with like 12,000 value in tanks and all that, they're not really moving forwards at all. Even though there's a lot of this value over here is in artillery, they still don't manage to push forwards. I don't see that Aldi requested. Even though, yeah, there it is. Multiples. Should have those at the front lines just so that they know a little bit more about the enemy. And once again, trying to push in. Being a little bit hesitant, balling up as well. So makes you vulnerable to Lico shots and all that. Lico shots and all that. Yeah, there it comes. Lico is once again coming in. And even though, yeah, against a full HP Minotaur, it doesn't do that much damage. It's still doing 2000 damage to like 4 or 5 of those Minotaurs. And since both of their Licos survive as well, yeah, this is all looking a lot less healthy than it could be. Less than 20,000 HP, whereas you originally had like 50,000. Seems like Team West, even though they got nuked twice already, is holding their own for now. Next nuke is up. But now, as we saw before, those anti-nukes are also quite nice. Is anything in missile silo range? A tactical missile? Tactical, tactical, tactical into nowhere. Good job, you hit nothing. And a couple of scuttles. Those, if, and that's a big if because I don't think it's going to happen, they can get in to the enemy base and take down those anti-nukes. They can give an opening for that nuke, for the Trinity. But yeah, the enemy, Team West, has like good number of mines still just laying about. Has a little bit of anti-air scattered around, so yeah, getting close with those scuttles is not exactly the easiest thing. Over here, another one, Lico bombing. And run away! Nice Lico shot up north, but this one, nope, doesn't go down either. So once again, nice Lico shots. Third geothermal from Kingstead is up. But yeah, just look at the base. They've got a couple of neutron stars, Nubber stars, key gear. And sure, they are doing something. Look at all of the orange. Kingstead has to do a lot of the work. Getting that fourth geothermal. It is up. However, it should go down with all of those units there. Oh, don't think you hit anything, right? No, you did not. You lost 2 of your scuttles there. And when there are 2, there could be more. Moving forwards. Good take then the Lucifer, which isn't a bad target, it really isn't. But also you should jump, okay, you do. Goodbye! Taking care of an additional caretaker is also very nice. Why are you restoring the terrain here? There is no real reason for that. Especially not because you're the one with spiders and can go everywhere. Unless they can't go through this little puddle of water. Oh, they can't. Okay, I guess then there is a reason for it. It's still just... It feels so expensive, right? Like, each of these things is like a couple hundred, like 150. Yeah, that's not exactly cheap. By now, a team Kingstead, 500 energy eco, so only like 30 less investing into their overdrive. And well, I'm afraid that although you did well, the other one also had a little sparkle of being stunned around it. It does. 3 anti-nukes are stunned by Kingstead, or at least by someone on Team East side, which means that the nuke does indeed land. Once again, it's a good nuke. It does a lot of value, right? 8,500, 8,000, so another 16,000 value gone. Whereas a nuke only costs like 3,200, 3,250. Yeah, 3,240. So very nice nuke indeed. Twifts, launching, scouting, maybe even just accidentally taking down a Lico, if they're lucky, though it doesn't seem like they are lucky. But at least you have more scouting. You know that this nuke has survived. That's something that is very important to know, of course. And there are, for now, just 2 nukes on Team West's side. You know, 20,000 value. I mean, it's not as if the enemy doesn't have value, right? I thought I saw like 17,000 value in just those tanks. And hello there, Lico. Nice bombing run you did. Let's see. Yeah, even now, over 20,000 value left. I'm a little surprised that neither team has really gone for any Striders. I haven't seen any. Even though, like, with all of that value, 20,000 on both sides there. Even down here, another 10,000 value. 2 nice Lico shots, but both of them stopped by the shields. Yeah, I'm quite surprised that, yeah, we didn't see any Striders. Especially like down south here, for instance, with all of that shield there. Just getting a paladin and like support barraging down, stunning all of the shield and all that. seems like a pretty good trade to me. But yeah, we have a Strider in a 5000 metal worth commander that could soon very well go down. One nice barrage with the Recluse and it will be gone. At least I think it was that close. Though it was also like 12,000 HP, so maybe not. But yeah, stunned as well now. Should be going down, right? Good. Bye. Commandeur. Yeah, there it goes. Leco 1, Leco 2. You do lose those Lecos though, which is a bit of a shame. Still though, good trade there for Team West. With, well, at least 3 of your Lecos ending up surviving. Up north, well, I didn't really look at a whole lot here. No big fighting going on. Mainly just draining enemy shields and all that, and like dealing some damage to assaults, but not really taking anything down. Second singularity for Team West is out. On the other side though, Kingset is still just on. Couple of geothermals, 3 of them advanced, and 2 of them are currently like normal geothermals. So we are struggling a little bit in the overdrive department, investing 600 into overdrive versus just 300 from Team East. So yeah, that is definitely giving a bit of an advantage there for Team West, who by now has also managed to close the gap and is once again on 100% attrition. Trinity once again does have a nuke stored up, and there are only 2 active anti-nukes. Stun one and you can, as in like stun this one, or destroy it, and you can bomb all of this. 20,000 value. Would be the best nuke thus far. Still, not something that's easy to do, right? It really just isn't. Wind farm in front and all that. And they need this down, yeah, sure. What do you have to take it down? You do have a missile silo. I do see a Shockley going up there. Indeed. Second missile silo is also going up. Don't really know if I like that, but it's fine. And they're also just pushing forwards, in which case they might just not be in their anti-nuke range in a little bit. Next anti-nuke is going up, already 2,000 invested. So is, well, kinda close to being constructed. Then over here, another one, 1,300 invested. This one is just now going up, so this one is not going to play, like, be significant at all. But yeah, they are definitely investing in a lot of anti-nukes. By now, 6 of them are either constructed or under construction. Well, they're trying. And although, yeah, look, then Shockley does manage it. I have bad news for you. Look at what's finished over here. Oh no. There it goes. Anti-nuke. So yeah, you can stun one, but you can't stun both. In which case, it detonates all the way above in the atmosphere and it does not do any damage. Anti-nuke already paying for itself. And anti we missed on the left. Yep, because it was only constructed quite late. One Swift does manage to do a little bit more scouting, but yeah, not very significant. So though, look at the circles, at least 3 anti-nukes are already up and operational. Quite operational. Why are these circles? What? Why are these dark green? Oh, those are out of the map. Look, sometimes I'm not that bright. Anyways, yeah, Team West over here, 20,000 value, pushing forward, trying to at least. There is a lot of value on the other side too. And OMG, they have BB, the Big Bertha. A forward Big Bertha. Look at that stun though. They have a lot of value here, but as long as all of it is stunned, you might be able to push in there. Do you still have a lot of artillery? So not exactly a whole lot of DPS. And even more pings. someone really does like to ping. 17 pings. And there they come. 3 more Lecos bombing the tanks. Not really able to take down all that much, but now, with the Ravagers and your own Minotaurs forwards, that is quite nice. Out of the Shockley range as well, mostly. And now disarming a lot of their own units as well, though, which is not ideal. But at least Team East is able to hold on there. A lot of reclaim. Pretty decent fight, but yeah, decent is not really what you want. Still, couple of little phantoms are going to go down over here. At least 2 or 3 have already gone down. The others can't really shoot either because they would hit the mates. And the Ravagers being pushed away. Not going to do any more damage. Small little spider shields over here. Desolator there to hold them off. Very nice. And now once again scouting. Spotting that there is another nuke ready to go. Anti-nukes though, look at how many they have. At least like 4 of them operational. 1, 2, 3, 5 of them are operational. Which is indeed at least 4. Yeah, I don't think you're going to stun them. I mean, it has paid for itself multiple times over with all of that value it was able to take down. But, hey, there it is. Merlin, Paladin, both coming up. Trying to take down the factory. Okay. Sure. Don't really know if I like that, but it's fine. Taking down the Artemis though. Artemis, 2400 value. A good buy. All of a sudden, missile silo has paid for itself already. And Team East also now with the Merlin up and operational. Very nice anti-air. Because it is quite bursty as well. Doesn't really show its burst damage, but it does have a lot of it. 200 times 40. So is able to get through shields quite easily as well. At least a decent number of shields that can pierce in a single barrage. So yeah, even though it is being shielded, not by that many aspects, but still. It is vulnerable to Merlin. Over here. Cerberus as well, of course. Not really shielded all that well. Good. Go down to the Merlin. Of course, it's a bit difficult to get in range of a Cerberus with your Merlin. But hey. It's just on hold fire disable on like fire at will. Why? Why? You did like no damage and you do show that you have one. I don't like it. Down south, well, pretty good shield forces over here. But what can they really do? I mean, for now, Desolator will be safe. In which case you can't really move in, because this isn't designed to deal with Desolator. Nuke. It is currently still on just 1 missile. We'll have a second soon-ish, although it is not really investing a whole lot into it for now. But yeah, Paladin up north. Finally, something that is actually going to deal a lot of damage, you would hope. Oh, this is maybe bad though. If they see you take all of that up north, like 9,000 value there. Yeah, they don't really have anything themselves though, and you do have pretty good scouting with those fleets forwards. So you can probably get up at least enough defenses there if they do try to raid. But yeah, Paladin is now forwards, will be, indeed, using his manual weapon. Not getting a very good stun off though. Missing with quite a couple. 4 Grizzlies. A lot of HP. Paladin missing completely. Missile silo just barely surviving there for now. But it is stunned. So next Shockley is not really going up. And look at the shield they have now. That's a lot of shield. 3,600,000, not 60, 3,600. A lot of shield there. This ball, 46,000 if it is full. But yeah, down south they don't really have any defenses. Issue is, Team East doesn't have anything to profit from that. Not really, at least. And they once again tell them to go back. Of course. They always want to go back. But yeah, a lot of shields. Pretty healthy still. Not pierced that easily with how much shield they have. Not even a single Merlin is really able to pierce that all that easily. But they are now, indeed, as like Whistle said, I think it was Whistle at least, they are going back. They're asking for ulti. I mean, makes sense. Oh, no, in this case they're pinging the ulti. Never mind. Before they were asking for one, now they are pinging one. But yeah, one ultimatum, not really going to do a whole lot. At least I don't think so. Paladin is not one-shot by an ultimatum. You have too much support around your Paladin for a single ultimatum to even try and do anything. And you say, spread! Sounds good, but no. Too bad. Tank forces, moving forwards. Yeah, not really able to do a whole lot. Paladin to stun at least a couple of the Minotaurs. 3 of them are stunned. And down south, well, Commander, forwards, not exactly the strongest commander ever. Good number of recluse though, so are able to burst down at least a Minotaur. Ogre. And ultimatum, I mean it tried its best, but as I said, yeah, there is just too much support out there and it doesn't get close to one-shotting a Paladin. So isn't able to accomplish all that much. Still, what is like the next step for these players? Well, next step in terms of eco is getting a singularity up for Team East as well. Have now caught up in their energy eco pretty much exactly. On the other side, well, eco is not really being expanded anymore. If we look at total economic value, yeah, both have pretty much plateaued. Slightly more invested by Team Southwest. And now, especially with the next singularity going up somewhere, there it is. I was like, well, not a whole lot is being invested. Yes, there is. I'm just blind. But yeah, are still able to get up more overdrive then. But not a whole lot more metal. At least not a whole lot, yeah. They've got 10 more metal through overdrive, but yeah. Commander though, that is kind of significant, though it isn't the high level commander, it's only a level 3. Commander from Dark Blue Diamond does go down there. Shields, only 5,000 shield left, pretty much completely drained. And there's, you could move forwards, I mean, what do they have in defense? 2 fleas and then it's the Impalers themselves. Had you been a bit faster, you could have moved in there. And taken down at least a couple of the Impalers, I feel. Or force the other forces to go back to the front. Though, you don't really have anything to clean them up anyway, so even that wouldn't have really changed things all that much. Grizzlies, still healthy. A lot of HP, 8,700 each. Could be healing up in the pond over there, but not going to do that. But yeah, it is a bit of a stalemate. Who does have better map control? I guess it would give the edge just barely to Team East. And once again, a scouting run with a couple of Swifts is coming in. You do see it, I mean, once again pinging like 14 times. As if that's really going to change anything. No. But yeah, they do scout part of the base, not even all. Which is a bit of a shame. And they say, get a. Do you fear the Odin? Because of course that is an option these days. Although, at the same time, getting an Odin in there is probably a bit difficult. You don't have that much static anti-air. Or like burst anti-air. You've got like a chainsaw, and that's about it. The Optimus you had in front is of course gone down quite a while ago. So I mean, I guess it would be possible for an Odin to get in there. Yeah, maybe. Disco Rave Party, I mean, it is 40 value invested. Going to take quite a long time if it's even going to go up. Team East now with the Dante. Very nice. And there they come, the fleas. Appreciate the help. Thanks guys. Someone is slightly tilted, I feel. But yeah, the couple of fleas are doing a lot of damage. At least a lot of value has been killed. Great attrition by them. Doesn't really swing the needle all that much. Right? I mean, 200,000 versus 200,000. Taking down a couple of Impalers isn't going to change it all that much, but still. It's very nice. We'll keep your Desolator alive and all that. Keep the Geothermal alive. So it is definitely worth it. It's just not going to swing this game all of a sudden. Scuttle, not able to get close. A nice counter to 1,000,000 heavies, guys. Yeah. Then get it up them yourself. I mean, yeah. Dante has been spotted. But yeah, I mean, getting up counters to heavies and all that, like the ultimatum they requested before, would be an option. Of course it would. I mean, ultimatum onto Grizzly, amazing. Because if I remember correctly, it's like the number of frames you... the like disruption beam or something like that goes through the target is like how much damage it deals. Like it deals damage each tick or something like that. Not completely sure on the mechanics there, but like against a tanky, expensive, fat old Grizzly, it is very, very nice. Well, let's see, how many anti-nukes do you manage to stun? Well, that's 1. That's 2. That's not 3 though. What? It is not indeed 3. There it goes once again. Whee! Boom. Kingstad. No, it is Kingstad not. It is Nobstar. Nobstar. What's that? Still though, next nuke is coming in, and the anti-nuke as well. Good job, anti-nuke. You are doing a very good job. Doesn't really tell you. No, it doesn't. Doesn't tell you the reload, but I believe it is like 7 seconds on an anti-nuke and like 8 or 9 on a Trinity. Reload time, 10 seconds. 10 seconds on Trinity and like a little bit less than that on the anti-nuke. And there it is. An anti-heavy indeed. Getting a kill on like 2, 4 of those Minotaurs already. Does go down in the end, but still, pretty sure that made value. And then so, well, that's a lot of value again. Most of it is stunned though, at least most of your damage is stunned. Bit of a waste of those EOs. At least, well, maybe. Maybe not. Yeah, it will be a waste. Too bad. And up north, the poking continues from both sides, at least a little bit. And like trying to destroy each other's pork. And ooh, that is a very good stun there. That Shockley? Stunning. Almost 10,000 value. Ouch. What's up with the bro? You can use it down south because it would save you from... whatchamacallit? From the Shockley. Because Funnel Web Shield is not actually just getting pierced by a Shockley, which like normal shields do. And also, yeah, having it to help out with the Paladin would allow you to push into the pork more easily. Taking down the Tremor would be very nice. I mean, it is technically under the shield, but not exactly very well defended. Paladin trying to get through the shields a little bit. Merlin managing to get almost through the shields. So that is still no tremors killed. Please, I mean, they are in a prime position to just take down those couple of phantoms. 3 phantoms just way forwards. Not in a good position. Yeah, even just with 3, 5, let's call it 5 fleas, you would be able to take down all 3 of them. Merlin's trying their best. Well, they do damage the phantoms. 3 missiles needed to destroy 1 phantom. But nope, phantoms managing to survive there. I'm a bit surprised about that. Paladin, full HP, but also not really continuing its push. And over here, Ultimatum once again up and ready to go. Take down a couple of, well, Grizzlies, a Dante, and reclaim ASAP. Because, yep, 8,500 reclaim there. Still though, reclaim ASAP. There is still 1,500 free reclaim that you're not even getting at all. Yeah, not really the best. Paladin climbing the hill to get a better viewpoint. But yeah, not really doing a whole lot yet. Ravagers though could move in there. If you just purely look at how much defense they have over there, it's not that much. To take care of like 30,000 HP, yeah, you can just storm their caretakers. There is a Dante, which is very nice, but it's now hurting its own Merlin. Merlin is gone. Even just that is already worth it. Grizzly getting hit by another EOS, but yeah. Okay, sure. Still, Ravagers ravaging around. And are able to get, well, quite good value there, I'd say. In total, indeed, making like about 3,000. And over here, that part is already counted as well. 7,700 lost. Paladin, you're doing a good old job there. A little bit of that was also from the Ravagers, I'm pretty sure, but still. And Paladin now out for Team East as well. We saw it clean up a couple of those Ravagers. Oh, Dante running straight into the Ultimatum. Ultimatum able to hold on into the shield, so will survive. So now it is Paladin with Ultimatum versus like a couple of Cyclops and the Paladin. Right. Well, Team East is pushing forwards. And Team West retreating all of those units. For now, at least. Advantage Team East, I'd say. But getting hit. Point blank range by the Merlin. And Lucifer there as well. Yep, I think so. Yeah, that's the Lucifer. I was about to say, Stinger doesn't have that kind of range. Must have been Lucifer. And indeed, it does. It is the Lucifer indeed. And what do we do? Wait, ring? Oh, nuke. Nuke first. Do you have a nuke? No, you don't. DAP going up on the side from Team East as well. This one though, a lot further. And also 1400 energy beer now. Because Huntman has kept on going. Kept on building more singularities. Spread out quite nicely as well. So a lot of them are pretty safe. And what did this die to? Well, to the Lucy. Merlin behind the hill. Very nice. Getting a couple more kills. But yeah, down south, Team West is certainly losing ground. All of that reclaim we saw before. Well, there is still like 4,000 reclaim here. Like 3,000. Is going to all get claimed by Team East. So even though you have double the energy eco, you're like even or behind in metal. Just because of all of that extra reclaim they're able to get. And don't forget that the economic value, that like additional 16k, is not being used for anything else. Once again, well, someone is trying to get anti-nukes stunned and all that. 1 stun, 2 stun. Do they have a third in range? Well, the nuke, it is coming in, it was coming in, and there it comes. Once again, does a lot of damage. One of the anti-nukes go down, and nuked into oblivion indeed. Team East takes it. With a handful of nukes coming in and each of them making great value, Team West was not able to hold on, even though they had the better value pretty much the entire game. Economic value? It's just a burden unless you manage to get better eco through it than your enemy. And through all of that additional reclaim, Team East in the end having produced more metal.